to that. But it started decreasing not because of the doctor, not because of the antibiotic, but simply changing the water, the sanitation. It dropped, as you see the arrow, the infant mortality decreased because it decreased the infection. Then we came the antibiotics in the 1940s, then we further decreased. Even if intensive care unit was a new phenomenon when I started my training 50 years ago in 1960s. And ever since then, it continues to decrease. As you see the green bars and white bars and red bars. The bars I'm showing you, the red bar shows particularly of interest to you, it is near next door neighbor China. Their infant mortality is dropped. Actually, every day it's dropping. At the time I mentioned it about 5 years ago, it was 22. That corresponded to in America 1969. In India, even today, your infant mortality is 44. That corresponds to the situation in America in 1929-1930. That's about the time that the building was being built here. And unfortunately, Pakistan still has mortality which is like 1917. So these are the variations, of course, within India. There are other states, I don't think I have a data here, from Tamil Nadu, which is much better than many other states, and your UK requires a lot more capital. That is all. Now, what happened in these years? You will not be able to read this, but there are various areas: neonatology, gynecology, sanitation, improvement of various things. Where here is the time period of last night, close to 1960 to year 2000 in the baseline, and the infant mortality is shown you in the dotted line. The upper dotted line is US, lower dotted line is UK, and with each new therapies, new innovation, infant mortality has dropped and continues to drop. The major drop occurred in the 1960s onwards, when neonatal intensive care units became normal, and later on, as Dr. Kumar mentioned about surfactants, so on and so studies. So there are so many innovations have taken within the last 50 years of my career, and fortunately, I've been in both a witness as well as a partner or a participant in this area, having contributed little as something, and we have seen those changes. These are all applied to the Western world. Now, I think one other thing you have to look at is, how are we doing compared to other countries? Here, the blue line shows, again, you've got a year 1950 to projected to year 2020. What it shows is, in China, very soon after 1960, they see a tremendous drop in infant mortality. And ever since it's dropping. Whereas in the beginning, all China, Pakistan, and India started their infant mortality around 400 level. But the drop in China continued much faster and reached a low level, whereas India is still lagging. We cannot take any solace that we are better than Pakistan, but Bangladesh has taken over. Their infant mortality is better than India. So I think we have a long way to go. Well, if we continue to be like here, and you have a pointed at the if we continue to remain the same, see, this is Europe and UK and USA, their levels have decreased. They have already reached. But what about the countries who are high today? And this is where India falls down. How long it will take for them to reach the infant mortality of the Western states? It will be 2085 You don't 2100. It will take that long time. So we don't want to reach, and therefore each of you, one and a half, especially the younger generation, should start saying how can we decrease. And unfortunately, the African countries, they are so poor and so difficult situation. It may take another 100 or 200 years for them to reach our level unless something is done in between. So if we maintain today's status, it will remain the same thing. So that is the magnitude of the problem. In USA, there were 10 major achievements in the health in the 20th century, the previous century. And one among them was reduction of infant mortality and maternal mortality. Now, how did this maternal mortality or neonatal mortality, I should make other statements. Among the infant mortality, we define infant mortality from birth to 1 year of age. Large number of babies die within the first 4 weeks of life. That period is known as neonatal period. And that's when majority of deaths occur almost here in this country, about 75% of the babies die. So you want to improve the neonatal care, and in order to improve the neonatal care, we have to improve maternal care. So it is not only the doctors, people who contributed to improvement in neonatal mortality are the better unit of the physiologists and biochemists, anesthesiologists, obstetricians, pediatricians, nurses, neonatologists. So what it does is, it takes a multiple, more than one discipline. Almost a statement, it takes a village. It's a statement of the village. It takes a village of scientists to work on this area, and there were various names I mentioned. It does not make a sense to you, but let me say, for example, if they are biochemists, here the biochemist Dr. John Pattle was the earliest man to recognize that when you lungs are affected with a nerve gas in the First World War and Second World War, they were affecting the surfactant, and bubbles that come out of the lungs will be decreased. And anesthesiologist, well, Dr. all of you know, there is Glasgow, he recognized baby. And Gregory, the anesthesiologist, he told how to stabilize the lungs, and so on and so forth. So it required many other disciplines to work with. With an improved temperature, because neonatologists or pediatricians recognize that the 4 days mortality increases, and then there was a time when 100 per thousand was infant mortality, and incubators were developed. Nutrition was improved later on, 1900 to 40. That if they abuse, the mortality would be 15 neonatal mortality, and when the respiratory support came, it was down. Now, nursing is equally important, and fetal medicine, which is of the late 1980s, that start working with other operations. We are not working in 2 compartments, and other ventilator things at home, electrical ventilators. Now, these are all because of the involvement of the engineers, biochemists, hyperalimentation, so on and so forth, and surfactant therapy, as Dr. mentioned earlier. So, WHO has recognized that half of the gains made between 1952 to 1990 were due to access to technology alone. Now, I think if you actually, there was some analysis when the Japanese and Koreans were really moving very forward in 1960s. It was assumed that using empirical model, the economists have concluded that 1/3 of the gains of Korea and Japan was due to changing demography of increasing younger population, the so-called demographic gift. Maybe because the birth population was high and the younger generation was there, and they contributed to various new technologies and so on and so forth. They contributed to growth of science at the time. Now, for India, we are still going through this economic, the the demographic change is going on. Many of you are still very young in this population, and you can make a difference, and you are the real demographic gift to India, and you have to show it well, like this lady in a village is going to a computer that has come through now. This was made about 15, 20 years ago by the Raja Foundation, but today I'm sure the computers are available in the villages. And so, if putting all these ideas together, how do we really come to some kind of model? The model should be, until now, even in many institutions in America, basic scientists had in one room or in one corner, clinical scientists had in class. They never discussed, they were doing a lot of studies on each side. They didn't know what one was doing and how to interact that one, how it affects each other. So the model they created is a collaborative model since 1970s, so that they talk to each other. Now NIH has National Institute of Health encourages translation research linking basic science and research. So if you write a grant today, unless you show some linkage between the two groups and how you want to follow, not only today, in future, how do you discuss it, and what are the results you will learn, chance of funding will be less. So, if you want to look at the roadmap of a clinical research, you usually have a clinical question, and you look at a clinical or laboratory investigation done, and then you find a solution. You want to think of the solution. You develop a new treatment, new questions, and then again new research you have to continue going. So I think that DCD model has to be developed in India as well. So therefore we include biomedical engineers, because the institute I'm talking about is the application of engineering principles and design concept of medicine and biology for healthcare purposes. It will seek to close the gap between engineering and medicine. And it combines the design problem solving of engineering. Just like I was mentioning earlier, the innovation and engineering department in the University of Illinois is working closely with us in developing the retransmission of bleeding in the mother. Now, if I put together, this is how it should be. A model for clinical research should be an application, especially I'm related to newborn medicine, application pediatricians, and subspecialties within the area. Combine their courses with engineering and basic science department and develop solutions and innovation. Now, how has this worked out, the research? A lot of people don't very well understand, even in America, that what the NIH funding is doing to science and how much is contributing. The annual budget of NIH in the USA is spending $30 billion. If you don't know the scope of what $30 billion can buy, the budget is so big that it is equivalent to the total budget of 6 African countries, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Ghana, Cameroon, Tanzania, Uganda, and all put together. That's the total budget. Or, if you want to compare with Indian then, it's equivalent to 60% of your Indian defense budget. And it is very huge amount. So what are we getting for that? 80% of the NIH budget supports 300,000 researchers at 2,500 universities in the US and across the world. And in year 2000 alone, it published greater than 152 1.5 lakh papers. Of course, the USA had all the countries in the volume publication of medical scientific papers. UK is the second one, not necessarily NIH supported, but they published 44,000. Now, it's interesting to see that China increased publications from 1.2% of the world publications in medicine in 2002 to 6% by 2012. It took a decade, nevertheless. But unfortunately, our data, our Indian data, is not to be seen anywhere. And there is a very much need. A multidisciplinary research would be ideal, and I think where your institution, and the country to go for. You perhaps know all of you, this name figure here, Sam Pitroda. He lives in our hometown, Oak Brook, and we meet him often. Here, he had a review during his knowledge commission time. The number of, in the one graph, you are seeing upper graph and lower graph, number of publications by year by China and India, and you can see China is flying high and India is still flat. And the lower graph is number of patents they applied, and you can see China on the plane. And big countries, other big countries which we are not concerned, or should not necessarily, those are not our models, but China is the one really compare, we should look at it. Now, we also look how many researchers are there per million by country. 100 researchers per million by country shows India is only 1.5 per 100 researchers per million. So, per million, 150 researchers in India, and you can look at it. USA, South Korea,